All right, Lovey. So we are jumping into this first project. This was a fireplace that I had put together, I think last year or the year before. I think it was last year, and it did not survive the move. I remember I had it in my stash, and I decided let's like switch it up a little bit. As you saw, there was like a gray color with black, and I wanted to do a white fireplace with a little distressing of some gold rub and buff. I think I used the Grecian gold. So I'm just gonna I put this together using some Dollar Tree wood pieces, some wood shims, a what is it called, frame from the Dollar Tree. And so, I mean, overall, it held up well, but just the bottom part had popped off. So I was really happy with that because it went through a rough patch there, but overall it did well. But anyway, I'm going to now take some of these plastic cutting mats that you can get from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to size this out for it to fit in that middle part. So I just eyeballed it here kind of and cut it down to a decent size where I thought it would fit on the back. Now I didn't want it to be the exact size of the opening here because I needed it to attach to the back part of this frame. Now, full disclosure, there's not going to be a backing to this because I am going to be adding lights to it, and I'll need to get to those lights. So I couldn't quite figure out how to do that and keep the lights in and everything, so on and so forth. I mean, I could have did fairy lights, but I wanted the flickering candles. I didn't have any flickering fairy lights. Ooh, that's a lot to say. But so I wanted the little flickering candles nonetheless. So I'm going to leave it open. If down the road, if I think of a way to do that, I'll definitely do it. But now I'm just taking one of my rub-on transfers that has some candles and poinsettias here, and that is going to be our focal point for our fireplace. Now, I looked through my stash to see if I had anything like a little roaring fire or anything like that, and I couldn't find one that would have went nicely with this and still said Christmas, in my opinion. So I do know for people who have those faux fireplaces in their homes, they do decorate them with candles. So I was like, you know what? This is a good alternative. My sister, I was on the phone with her when I was doing this, and she's like, why are you putting candles in the fireplace? I'm like, duh, like you've seen that before. Like it happens. But anyway, that's the closest one I could find, and it actually came out really pretty. Now what I'm doing right here is taking some of these tower tumbling blocks from Dollar Tree. I'm adding them to either side, and that's just going to give this a little bit of a lift. And the reason I needed to do that is because the surface, I don't know, it was just weird in the plastic part wouldn't stick to it. So I was just like, let me add the tower tumbling blocks, and that seemed to work out okay. So now I'm going to take my Aleene's tacky glue, a little bit of hot glue, and we're going to reattach the piece that broke off. So I didn't paint the back of this either because I was running out of paint, and I just remembered as I'm doing this voiceover, I was supposed to stop at the store and go pick up some white paint. And I forgot. I had a dentist appointment today, and it had me just, my anxiety levels were just on high because this is my first visit to this dentist office, but everything went well there. But I am so afraid of the dentist. I've had such bad experiences with them, and my dentist in California, I did not want to leave him because he was amazing, but this new office was amazing as well. So I was really happy with my visit with them. So all right, so now that you guys needed to know that before you started your weekend, so right here I'm taking some of these Christmas light ornaments, and I just wanted that to drape over the mantle of our fireplace, if you will, and I was just holding it up just to make sure I had enough length there for it to give a little bit of a swoop. I didn't want it to go straight across, and I gotta tell you guys, I really like the way this came together, because I was on the fence with the distressing of this with the whole rub and buff, and I was like, you know what, I really like this. It really came together nicely in my opinion. So then right here, I'm now going to just start adding in a few embellishments. I'm going to take some of these little gold trees. I think I got these off of Amazon a couple years ago. And I'm going to take 3 different sizes and put them right over there in the corner. And then once I do that, I'm just going to add in a few more embellishments. But those embellishments I'm not going to glue down because, again, if we want to switch this up, I want to be able to do that. With the trees, I thought they wouldn't be too hard to come off, but like my Santa and Mrs. Claus kissing under the mistletoe, I do use that in a lot of my final reveals, so I'm not going to glue that down. So right here, I'm taking some of these poinsettias from Dollar Tree, I believe that these came from. Now, they were a slightly darker red color, but they still worked very nice on this piece, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed this. This is so cute. And then I'm gonna take also, once I'm gonna add here is a little cuddle up kitten in front of the fireplace, and that's it for this project. We are gonna go ahead and move into project number 2. So next, I'm gonna take some of these paint stir sticks that you can find at Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's, wherever, you know, any paint store like that, and they are the 5-gallon, I believe, paint stir sticks. And I'm just going to take some hot glue, and I do end up mixing this with Aleene's tacky glue as well, because I was running out of wood glue and I didn't realize that. I thought I had more, but I just decided to mix the two together, and it actually worked out perfectly fine. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to layer these on top of each other. You get 3 in a pack. I used the whole pack. I did 2 packs of the 3. And I'm going to, here first I tried to do with some hot glue on that first one. It worked fine, but when I got to the second one, I needed something a little bit stronger. So, that's what I decided to do here. But like I was saying, I'm just stacking them on top of each other, just how they come packaged. Basically, I'm just gluing them together. And so here I went and painted all the pieces for this project in red, white, and green. Mostly red and green. These little cubes here are going to be presents. And so I painted one in white, and now I'm going to just take some of this gold trim ribbon that I have, and I'm just going to go across and make it look like a present, basically. And so I'm just wrapping it around, as you can see here. No rhyme, no reason. And I'm just going to get it tacked down for you guys. So yes, that's what I'm going to do. I just want to say, guys, you know, thank you all for who's joining in for the 30 days of gratitude. I absolutely love it. I really didn't think we'd get too many participants in it, especially that we're on day 14 already, and everyone seems, not everyone, but quite a few people are seeming to enjoy this. I see some people have been here since day 1, answering the questions. I love it because, you know, just like when you guys are seeing it, I'm seeing it for the first time, and it's really good to have something to think about, and, you know, things that we wouldn't normally think about, things we take for granted, I guess. So I really love doing this with you all, and thank you so much for participating. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me backtrack a little bit while you guys might watch me assemble this. On my post on my community area tab, channel, wherever, my community area, oh my goodness, under the post, I have been posting every day a question of the day for 30 days of gratitude, where we're going to go through the month of November, and every day it asks us a question of what we're most grateful for. And so it's been a lot of fun. It's been beautiful reading some of the stories and all of that. So if you're interested, stop by my community area and check out the post. All right, so what you see I did here, like I said, I had the paint stir sticks. I took a wood piece from Dollar Tree, And now I'm using this planter drain that I got from Daiso, which is in California. And I have this Merry Christmas sign that came from Hobby Lobby. And like I said, I painted everything basically in red and green. And I did have a little pop of white with that present. But what I'm going to do right here is, because that little drain, that pot drainer there, it was thin and it just wouldn't hold, and I had a little bit of gapping. I didn't measure this out. When I laid it out, it lined up perfectly, at least I thought, but once I started gluing everything together, it was some gaps there. So this was how I figured to remedy that, by using some of those little mini wood square cubes you can find at Dollar Tree, and that held it into place nicely. So then here is freaking Frack making an appearance again, and I am gonna take them, and it's actually a girl and a boy, and I'm just removing all the tags and stuff like that. I don't know why I left that in there either, but I don't know why I do a lot of things that I do, but I tend to do them anyway, and you guys keep coming back for the ride. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. All right, so once I get them all nice snipped and tipped and trimmed and all the good things, I'm just going to go ahead and get them situated, because their clothing was a little wrinkled, because it's Dollar Tree clothing. I mean, come on, you know, I just was like, okay, let me put a little dab of glue here, a little dab of glue there. Then I wanted to give the little girl a bow. Like, her little dress was just so plain Jane. No offense to anybody in here if anybody's named Jane. All right. It's just a little plain, and I wanted to give her something, not too much, but I had a little bow from Kathy Jo. It's a Kathy Jo bow, and I just cut that down, the tails down on it a little bit, and we're just going to add this to her dress, like I said, just to give her a little razzle dazzle, nothing too fancy. And then we're going to stick them on that one little piece right there. I don't know, this was supposed to be like a bench style, a dealio, but I don't know what it turned into or what it morphed into, but I just wanted frickin' Frack to be hanging out, swinging their feet, watching over the presents, singing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." It was a whole thing happening here. I know you guys can't see it, but that was the whole vibe I was going for, okay? So once I got them situated, I'm going to just glue them onto their little bench seat there. Then I had these large size peppermints. They're like little pom-pom balls, and I thought they were so cute. I got those from Hobby Lobby. And so what I'm doing is removing the little bow that's on one side, because the bow was they were all facing the same way, so I needed to turn one way and one the other way to create a candy cane heart. Okay, because they love Christmas. I love Christmas. Freaking Frack loves Christmas. I think this is pretty cool. Okay. And so I'm just going to tuck that right in there. I actually didn't even need to put any glue, because it was so snug. It was just a perfect fit. And so I'm just going to get them all nice and snug in there. And then I'm just going to wrap their arms around each of the candy canes and glue it down. Just with a little dab of glue. Not too much, And so once I do that, I should have left this here like this, okay? Now, this is a really cute piece. I don't know what to call it, but I just think it's really, really cute. And I decided to put the presents in the middle of the heart, and I forgot I needed presents for the bottom piece of this. So I didn't do it on here, but I'll have to go back and make some more presents for the bottom piece, and you'll see in just a few minutes what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to go ahead and stagger them in the middle of that heart, which I think is cute, but I think they kind of get lost in there. But I mean, it is what it is. So here's where I'm adding in another piece of the Dollar Tree wood here, and that's going to be our base to help this piece stand up. Now, if you were to recreate this by some chance, you can totally omit this part and just let this be a leaner. It would still work out really nicely. Even with the bottom part on this, it still works as a leaner. because I was having some issues because my table is not completely flat. Where I do my final reveal is not a flat surface. So I had to really like just work with it to keep it standing up, but on the floor it works perfectly fine. So there's that. So anyway, I'm taking one of these or two of these for Chanel stems that I have in my stash, and I'm just going to wrap this around the front and side part of this piece. I didn't see a need to do the back. I just didn't. And so I just roll with it. So here's where we're going to add in a flocked little Christmas tree right here. And this is why I'm saying I needed the presents. I totally forgot about this part. And then there's my magic hands right there. And I'm just going to add this little cute wreath. It has the green, red, and white in it as well. The green is a little bit more Grinchish, but it still worked for this piece. So that's pretty much it, guys. And I really have to say I did enjoy this piece. Oh no, this is where I go in and add the Chanel stems to the side. Sorry guys, I thought I had moved past that. I don't know. Who knows what I do, why I do what I do. But I do it anyway. But anyway, I just put those on, snip them down. Super easy to do. I'm sorry to take you guys through this again, but I enjoy and I appreciate you guys being here to watch it. In case you ever wanted to know how to glue down a furry Chanel stem, there you go. All right, so then I'm gonna take some of these peppermint embellishments I had in my stash. They also have the red, white, and green colors in them, and so I thought that would be a fun play to put on here. And I don't know, guys, I don't know what to call this. I still think it kind of looks like a bench, but you can't really tell because now I covered up the back part of it with the peppermint, so on and so forth, but I still think it's kind of cute. All right, so there you have it. And now we're going to jump into our third and final project, which is terracotta teacup number 55. Guys, I painted that in the same red, white, and green colors. Now I'm just sanding down our macrame ring, which is what I use. I'll cut it in half, and that's what makes our terracotta pots turn into terracotta teacups. If you are joining me for the first time on this channel, we have been doing a series where we take a terracotta pot and add a handle to it and turn it into a terracotta teacup, and we create a theme with it. We are now on terracotta teacup number 55, as I just mentioned, and today's theme is we're going to continue on with the elves. I was going to do elf on a shelf, which you technically could still do. If you were to recreate this, you could definitely plant this somewhere for the kiddos to find, but this is going to be a very simple one today. So all I did, like I said, I painted that in red, white, and green, and now I'm just taking some more of that gold trim ribbon, and I'm just going to wrap that around the middle of our teacup, and then I'm going to go in and add in a bow to it to make it look like a present. Again, the elves are protecting the presents, okay? So that's what I'm going to do with this. Like I said, this one is super easy. I did try to add some embellishments to this, but because the cup was so small and I just didn't have quite the right size of embellishments, it just was not looking good for me. And so I decided to keep it simple, which I still think it came out very pretty in my opinion. And so I don't know why I feel the need to tell y'all it's in my opinion. Of course it's in my opinion because I created it. But again, I don't know why I do what I do, but I do it. So we're just adding that bow right there, and I think it's just super simple and cute. I really do. And so once I get that all together, I guess I'm taking away some of that hot glue. Oh no, I was adjusting the ribbon. All right, so then here I'm going to take this little wood medallion, plop that right down in there. No glue really added here. Now we'll have to adjust that a few times, but look at the little elf. I think she is so adorable. And so I'm just going to remove the tag and everything off of there. I was going to attempt to move the little hanging, you know how they have the little that little loopy screw that's in there to hang the ornament. I was trying to remove that, but it didn't work, and I felt like I was going to break the ornament, so I just opted to leave it because you can't really see it anyway. So once I get that situated, this is where I'm playing around, like, oh, let me add a Santa Claus in here. I do glue him on, but I take him off because you couldn't tell it was a present. It was just a whole thing. Like, I don't know, my brain was just not having it. So I end up removing him off of there, but he's on there for now. So anyway, okay. And I can always add him back. It's not the end of the world. So then we're just going to put her right on top of there once I get this adjusted. Now, again, I could have added some glue here to tighten this up a little bit, but I didn't want that glue to show. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to put this in place. It's fine. In the event I need to disassemble it anyway to store it, this will work out better. So I'm not really breaking anything. And so I'm just going to add a little hot glue to her feet, and that is literally going to be it for this piece, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, nope, that's where I take the Santa off. But there you have it. And we're going to be heading into our final reveal, lovies. If you have been riding with me this entire video, I want to say thank you. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting, and don't forget to hype. You know, once you hit that like button, swipe to the right, hit that hype button. And if you can't find the hype button, that's okay. Just leave me a comment. You guys know I love to chat with you guys after each and every video, so don't be afraid to do so. And of course, you guys also know the deal. You have to tell me if you had a favorite of today, lovies. You know, I will say I liked every one of these projects. I really did. I can't think of, you know, they didn't all come out how I wanted, but I think they came out quite nice, actually. So, not sure what to call this for frickin' frack, but I don't know. Their legs are swinging. That was the main thing. We wanted their legs to be carefree, swinging, protecting the presents, loving Christmas, singing the songs, all the things. And I see that. I see them doing that. I think they look so adorable. And you have to tell me, do you see the same thing? Do you see what I see? Do you hear what I hear? Do you see what I see? Do you hear what I hear? Oh my goodness, I know this brain of mine, it's a whole thing all by itself. And here is our sweet little elf terracotta teacup. I think she is so cute. I think the simplicity of this is just so cute. It doesn't take away from her. I did add a little bell in there with her because I don't know, bells and elves, they just go together, you know, on their shoes. And since I couldn't put bells on her shoes, I was like, well, just put a bell in there with her while she holds her candy cane heart in her hands. I think that's just so adorable. I really do. I'm not just saying it. I really, really think it's adorable. And what I also like to do, for those who are joining me for the first time, is I do like to show each and every one of our terracotta teacups that we have created throughout this entire series. It goes by pretty quick, so stick around. And also, I like to know if you have a favorite of one of those if you're visiting for the first time. I know several of my sweet lovies have already told me the ones that they absolutely love and how they seem to find another one each time. I love hearing about that as well. You know, I'm the same way. My list keeps growing. It's almost to a top 20. And once we get to that, I'm going to really, really try to put together a compilation video of that, because some people have asked where they just want to see the terracotta teacup creations, but YouTube is not is being very difficult with me trying to do my compilation video. So it's gonna take some time, but it's something I'm in the process of doing for you guys, so don't worry. Hopefully we'll get it together. All right, but yeah, I've had fun doing this with you all. I've had absolutely the best time putting these together and just bringing my little visions to life, because as I often say, I never thought we'd get past 10, and here we are on number 55, and they just seem to be getting cuter and cuter, in my opinion, yet again. All right, and lovies, don't forget to hype this video. It's completely free, and if you want to support me in other ways, this is how you can do it, by buying me a coffee. But if you can't, I just appreciate you being here. And until the next video, be safe, be kind, hugs and kisses, XOXO, bye.